What's going on, all you wild Taylor Sheridan enthusiasts? We're back again, and tonight we're covering Taylor's all new season, season two of the Jeremy Renner starring Mayor of Kingstown.
If I say I'm gonna do a thing, I think it's done.
We're back to fucking Boston.
All we have left are these five towns. This feels like this town is nothing but one big prison, like people and their own depression, the prison that's actually there. It's a very mentally heavy show, we'll say. And season two really picks up right off from where season one left off with the huge prison riot, and with the big main villain escaping, and it really picks up the pieces from that with Mike having taken in the girl and protecting her after what happened in the last season, taking her out on this boat in the middle of the lake there, and keeping her safe like he's known to do. You know, he's Jeremy Renner, he's Mike McCluskey, and he's the mayor of these five towns.
You got Uncle Mike behind us. What a heartthrob, Jeremy Renner. Recent news with him. He hasn't been in the best of shape, but playing this character is really fantastic. Season two, kicks off with somewhat of a bang, seeing where everything ended last season with the prison, total chaos with all the guards, people getting killed and shit like that. It's the aftermath of that. And that's what leads into season two of seeing where this character is at, Mike McCluskey. Dealing with this girl, Iris, trying to get her into witness protection, but also dealing with like the guards from the first season, Captain Kareem Moore. He's like all traumatized from, things that happened to him. I don't remember if he got raped, but he definitely got beat up pretty badly in the first season, but he's dealing with that, the PTSD, and really trying to get back into the prison and finish some business.
Along with all the chaos that happened in the yard, they, are having trouble identifying everybody. There's so many bodies piled up there. All the officers are talking about it. It's hard to identify where anybody's at. And meanwhile, you have, dangerous convicted criminals. Milo Sunter, played by Aidan Gillen, who we saw most recently in Game of Thrones, Peaky Blinders. He's your main villain, and he kind of snuck out and nobody has even located him. So now Mike has to deal with that in the back of his head, and he's going to want to be coming after Iris. So that's going to play out the whole season. And then you had the subplots, of course, with Mike's mom, Miriam McLusky, Diane Wiest, her character, always trying to go and help these prisoners along. She wants them to be rehabilitated. She doesn't see them as lost causes. She always has faith that they can be changed even within the prison system. And then, she's going to the local liquor store and she goes to get a bottle of Red Label and she just gets beat up and mugged. But even after that, she still has hope. She doesn't want to see the kid that robbed her go into prison and just waste his life and ruin his life. She really has sympathy and really like sees everything for what it is in this town. She knows how hard people have it and how they have nothing and they have to do all this desperate stuff. And that really feels like Mayor of Kingstown is all about. It's like all these people living in this, impossible circumstances, all this poverty and, prison mentality going throughout the whole town, and it just weighs on everybody. And the McCluskeys are the one that have to kind of pick up the pieces and hopefully turn some of this negativity into something positive.
Yeah, there's something like really negative about this show, like it kills the vibe, and that's the whole point. Because you look behind us, it's always kind of gray and overcast. It's very industrial looking, factories and also all the prisons wherever they're at in Michigan. I'm assuming like Detroit or something, but they never really say that, I remember. But the overall tone of the show is very, heavy. It's really dark, really negative, having to do with this prison system and all the corrupt people and shady people that deal with it outside of the prison. Mike McCluskey's like the boss and running the show in this town and all these prisons and all the shady shit going in and out of the prison system. They really capture a lot of that. And then this first episode of season two, really the aftermath of what happened in the prison last season. So it was cool seeing Hugh Dillon return. I think he's the co-creator of the show, I believe. He's been in Yellowstone as well. He plays Ian in the show. He's one of the cops and dealing with everything with that. And he's a badass. He's a tough guy that you don't want to mess with.
I like that scene where he goes up to the car. There's the dead body and they're being eaten up by the pit bull. He
That's
kind of
brutal.
walks up and just caps the dog in front of everybody,
Yeah.
even though everybody has cameras and they might see it as something negative. He's like, no, we're going to shoot the dog. We're not going to risk, opening the door and then getting attacked by the dog. He just goes up and kills the dog. So there's a lot of corruption too in the town, and all the cops, doing all these shady things. It's like, there's really no distinction between the prisoners and the cops. A lot of times they're both doing equally bad, things, and definitely a heavy show. And, but, hella great performances by everybody involved, the supporting cast, and Jeremy Renner as Mike McCluskey. He gets to really flex his acting chops in something like this, something really heavy. That's what we know him for when he came up and got really popular after doing the Hurt Locker with that performance. Before that, he was doing these kind of cookie cutter roles. I remember him back in SWAT back in the day, where he's like this cartoon cutout villain. But really, in the show, he gets his time to shine, dealing with all these heavy concepts and things. He really deals with all the emotion well, and you really put your trust in him to kind of make some rights out of all the wrongs that are happening as a mayor of Kingstown, we'll say. So it's a very heavy show. And as you can expect, being written by Taylor Sheridan, you have all these subplots going on and everything just gels. If you're in the mood for something that's going to make you happy, this isn't going to be your show. But if you want something quality, watching actors shine and do great work and the writing be really top notch, then the Mayor of Kingstown's for you. It deals with a lot of heavy subject. It doesn't downplay any of the brutality or anything like that. It really gives you a real perspective of what life would be like within kind of a town that's kind of stuck in its own prison. So with that being said, I am going to give the season 2 premiere of Mayor of Kingstown, starring Uncle Jeremy Renner, a 4 out of 5 Mike McCready hair pieces.
I have to agree with you on a lot of the stuff here, buddy. Another winner for Paramount Plus with season 2 of Mayor Kingstown. We both love the first season. Comes back with a banger in the first episode. Lots on the line. More corruption, more violence, and more Jeremy Renner being badass. So another winner for me across the board. Had a great time with the first episode, and looking forward to the rest of the season. And with that being said, I'll give the first episode, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 Hugh Dillon hair pieces.
There you go. So we want to know what you guys thought of the season 2 premiere of Mayor of Kingstown. We all want to wish Jeremy Renner a good vibes and positive thoughts and well wishes. Hope he gets out of the hospital and is able to recover. I guess he got really bad chest injuries. It crushed his chest up. And, apparently his legs are pretty mangled as well, with a snowplow basically going on top of him when he was trying to help out, a family friend, I believe is what it was. So sending well wishes his way. I'm sure he'll be fine. Hopefully he'll be able to get back to acting, as soon as he's able to. So with that being said, we want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments. Thank you as always for keeping track of us here on the page. We're reviewing everything. We got a lot in January going on, and we are going to be back each and every week with some great reviews to come.
That's right. So stay tuned to our YouTube channel right here and click subscribe if you haven't done already. And these two rascals will be back very soon for the next TV review for Cinephellas. I'm Uncle Logan Myers. This is my good mate over there.
And I'm Henry Hill, signing out from Kingstown. Cheers!